Part 1. The Observer's Path, the Art of the Photo Walk. The philosophy, seeing vs. looking. Walking is often a means to an end, a way to reach a destination or hit a step count. However, when you combine walking with photography, the destination vanishes. The photo walk is a practice of visual mindfulness. It transforms the world into a gallery of hidden details. Your mission isn't just to move your body, but to sharpen your focus until the mundane becomes extraordinary. In the Waimea philosophy, we believe that the sound of the swell isn't just audio, it's the rhythm of life itself. By stopping to frame a shot, you are forced to pause, breathe, and acknowledge the light, the texture, and the geometry of your surroundings. You stop looking at the path and start seeing the story. This practice lowers cortisol levels by anchoring you in the now, preventing your mind from drifting toward past regrets or future anxieties. The principle, the rule of presence. The core principle of a photo walk is intentionality. Unlike a tourist who snaps photos of landmarks, the mindful walker looks for the unseen. This might be the way moss clings to a brick wall in the city, the silhouette of a bird against a rising sun, or the rhythmic patterns of shadows on a forest floor. You aren't just taking a picture, you are acknowledging a moment of beauty that would otherwise have been lost to time. What do you need? The gear. The beauty of this activity is its accessibility. You don't need a professional DSLR to be a visual storyteller. The lens, your smartphone, is more than enough. The best camera is the one you have in your pocket. If you are a purist, a small mirrorless camera or even a vintage film camera can add a layer of tactile satisfaction to the experience. The connection, set your phone to do not disturb or airplane mode. You cannot be an observer of the world if you are a slave to your notifications. The comfort, since you'll be stopping and starting, wear comfortable, weather-appropriate layers. Footwear should be stable, like the trail runners on our first thumbnail, to allow you to crouch or climb for the perfect angle. The practice, how to start. The 10-step rule. Every 10 steps, stop and look in a direction you usually ignore. Look up at the cornices of buildings. Look down at the puddles reflecting the sky. Focus on elements. Choose a theme for your walk. Today, you might only photograph yellow or symmetry or texture. This creative constraint forces your brain to work harder and find beauty in unexpected places. The breath shot. Before you press the shutter, take one deep breath. Ensure your feet are grounded. Capture the image on the exhale. This syncs your physical movement with your creative output. Conclusion. The photo walk isn't about the likes you might get on social media. In fact, many of your best photos may never be shared. The true product of this walk is the heightened state of awareness you carry back home. You'll find that after an hour of seeking beauty, your mind feels as recharged as your body. Part 2. The Acoustic Horizon, the practice of soundwalking. The philosophy beyond the silence. In a world of constant noise, our first instinct is often to drown it out. We put on noise-canceling headphones, we play high-tempo playlists, or we listen to podcasts to optimize our time. But soundwalking is a radical act of rebellion against the mute button. It is the practice of intentional listening, where the environment, whether it's a bustling Manhattan street or a secluded trail in the Pyrenees, becomes the lead performer. The philosophy of soundwalking, pioneered by composers like R. Murray Schafer, suggests that the soundscape is a physical landscape we inhabit with our ears. When you participate in a soundwalk, you stop being a consumer of audio and start being an explorer of vibration. This practice forges a deep, primal connection to your surroundings, grounding your nervous system in the immediate reality of your location. The principle, the layered ear. The core principle here is acoustic transparency. Most of the time we hear, but we do not listen. We filter out the hum of the refrigerator, the distant drone of the highway, or the rustle of leaves because they are background noise. In soundwalking, there is no background. Every sound is a data point. You practice identifying the keynote sounds, the permanent sounds of a place, like the wind or the ocean, and the sound signals, short, foreground sounds like a bird call, a footsteps on gravel, or a distant siren. By categorizing these sounds as you walk, you move from a state of distraction to a state of hyperpresence. What do you need? The gear. Ironically, for the most powerful version of this walk, you need almost nothing and everything. The senses, your own ears. If you use hearing aids, ensure they are adjusted for an environmental setting rather than just speech. The enhancer, optional. If you want to lean into the Waimea sonic history vibe, bring a portable field recorder and a pair of open-back headphones. This allows you to listen to the world through a microphone, which amplifies tiny details. The crunch of a dry leaf becomes a thunderous event. The open mind, you must leave your music and your podcasts behind. This is a commitment to the sound of the swell of life. Wear the silent clothing, wear fabrics that don't swish, like soft cotton or wool rather than loud nylon. You want to hear the world, not the sound of your own jacket rubbing against your arms. The practice, how to start. The calibration phase, stand still for 2 minutes before you start walking. Close your eyes. Try to identify the furthest sound you can hear, the horizon, and the closest sound, your own breath. The footstep rhythm, start walking slowly. Focus on the sound of your shoes hitting the ground. How does the pitch change as you move from pavement to grass, from wood to dirt? The 360-degree scan. As you move, try to track a single sound. Follow the sound of a passing car from the moment it enters your acoustic field on the left until it disappears on the right. The internal echo, periodically check in with your internal sound. Can you hear your heart rate, the swallow of your throat? This bridge between internal and external audio is the peak of the meditative experience. Conclusion. A soundwalk doesn't require a quiet place. A construction site can be as musically interesting as a meadow if you listen for the rhythms and the pitches. When you finish this walk, you'll find that the silence in your own mind has grown louder, simply because you gave the world a chance to speak. Part 3, the Kinetic Mind, the art of creative dictation. The philosophy, thinking with your feet. There is a reason why the greatest thinkers in history, from Nietzsche to Steve Jobs, were obsessive walkers. They understood a fundamental truth. The mind does not work at its best when the body is stagnant. When you sit at a desk, your breath becomes shallow and your perspective narrows. But the moment you start to walk, your heart rate rises, pumping fresh oxygen to the brain, and your divergent thinking, the ability to generate new ideas, skyrockets. Creative dictation is the practice of using a walk not just for exercise, but as a laboratory for ideas. In this chapter of the Waimea series, we explore how to write without a pen and solve without a screen. By moving through space, you unlock the mental swell, that flow of consciousness where problems solve themselves and inspiration strikes like a lightning bolt. The principle, the flow state loop. The core principle is kinetic brainstorming. When you walk, your motor cortex is busy navigating the path, which ironically distracts the analytical, self-critical part of your brain. This allows your subconscious to push ideas to the surface. In this state, you don't force a thought, you invite it. You pose a question to yourself at the start of the trailhead, and you let the rhythm of your strides provide the answer. The goal is to capture these eureka moments in their rawest, most energetic form before they are polished or killed by the ego. What do you need? The gear. To turn your walk into a creative session, you need a way to capture thoughts without breaking your physical rhythm. The digital journal, a smartphone with a high-quality voice-to-text app, or a simple built-in voice memo recorder. The hands-free setup, a good pair of wireless earbuds with a clear microphone is essential. You want to be able to speak to the air as you walk, keeping your hands free to swing and your head held high. The seed question, before you leave your house, identify one specific project, problem, or creative knot you want to untie. This is your seed for the walk. Quiet surroundings. While you can do this in a city, a natural setting with fewer social distractions, like people you might have to greet, allows for a deeper internal monologue. The practice, how to start. The incubation phase. For the first 10 minutes, Don't try to think about your project. Just walk. Let the surface noise of your day settle. Focus on your breathing until your pace becomes automatic. The prompt, state your seed question out loud. For example, how should I open the first chapter of my book? Or what is the most elegant solution for this client's problem? The dictation flow, when an idea comes, don't wait. Open your recording app and start talking. Don't worry about grammar, structure, or sounding smart. Describe the ideas as they appear. The feedback loop. If you get stuck, stop talking and focus back on the environment. Refer back to part 1 or 2. Usually, a change in the terrain, a hill or a turn, will trigger a change in the thought pattern. The transcription. When you return home, don't listen immediately. Let the recording sit for an hour. When you finally transcribe it, you'll be shocked at the kinetic wisdom you captured while your feet were moving. Conclusion. Your brain is not a computer. It's a biological organ that evolved to think while moving across landscapes. Creative dictation isn't just a productivity hack. It's a return to our natural state of being. By the time you reach the end of your path, you won't just have 10,000 steps. You'll have the blueprint for your next great work. Part 4, the gratitude step, neurological rewiring through motion. The philosophy, the chemistry of contentment. In our modern high-speed lives, our brains are evolved for survival, which often means they are hardwired to look for threats, deadlines, social comparisons, or things we lack. This is negativity bias. However, the gratitude step is a deliberate intervention. It is a form of metta or loving-kindness meditation practiced in motion. The philosophy here is that movement and emotion are deeply linked. By syncing the physical act of moving forward with the mental act of appreciation, you create a powerful neurological anchor. You aren't just thinking happy thoughts, you are physically stepping into a state of abundance. In the Waimea worldview, this is the ultimate well-being hack, turning a simple stroll into a session of radical brain reprogramming. The principle, the one synchronicity. The core principle is rhythmic affirmation. The human heart and brain respond to steady tempos. When you walk, you create a natural metronome. In the gratitude step, we use this tempo to pulse gratitude through the body. Instead of a wandering mind, we use a 1-1 or 4-4 ratio. For every 4 steps, you identify one thing you are grateful for. This prevents the gratitude list from becoming a chore and turns it into a mantra. Research shows that this level of focused appreciation lowers blood pressure and significantly increases the production of dopamine and serotonin, the body's natural antidepressants. What do you need? The gear. This is the most minimalist walk in the series. You need nothing but your presence. The body, comfortable clothing that allows for deep diaphragmatic breathing. You want to feel unrestricted. The silence, unlike part 3 dictation, this walk is best done without technology. No phones, no recording, no external input. You are the broadcaster and the receiver. The looming perspective, access to an open space, a beach, a hilltop, or a wide park. The prospect refuge theory suggests that seeing a wide horizon helps the brain think more expansively and feel more grateful. Soft focus, wear sunglasses if it's bright, but try to keep your gaze soft and wide rather than tunneling on your phone or the ground. The practice, how to start. The cleansing mile, spend the first 10-15 minutes simply walking off the static of the day. Don't start the gratitude practice until your breathing has slowed into a deep, natural rhythm. The tiered gratitude, start with the immediate. Level 1, physical. For the next 100 steps, focus on your body. I am grateful for my breath. I am grateful for my legs. I am grateful for the air on my skin. Level 2, external. For the next 100 steps, focus on the environment. I am grateful for that tree. I am grateful for the sun. I am grateful for the path beneath me. Level 3, relational. Focus on people. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for the friend who called yesterday. I am grateful for the kindness of a stranger. The anchor step, every time your right foot hits the ground, mentally say the word thank. Every time your left foot hits, say you, or simply use the word grace. The smile integration. It may feel forced at first, but slightly turn up the corners of your mouth as you walk. This facial feedback loop tells your brain that the gratitude is real, accelerating the release of feel-good hormones. Conclusion. When you finish a gratitude walk, you don't just return home with a tired body, you return with a shifted soul. You realize that while the world hasn't changed, your perception of it has. You have moved from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset simply by putting one foot in front of the other. You are no longer chasing happiness, you are walking in it. Part 5. The Ancestral Path, Foraging and Ecological Connection. The philosophy, reclaiming the hunter-gatherer mind. For 99% of human history, walking wasn't just exercise, it was an act of survival and deep observation. Our ancestors didn't just pass through a landscape, they were part of it. They knew which plants healed, which ones fed, and how the seasons whispered through the trees. Today, we suffer from nature deficit disorder, looking at the outdoors as a mere backdrop or a green gym. The ancestral path is the practice of active engagement with the ecosystem. It is the art of foraging and nature identification. By learning to recognize the species around you, you transform a generic green space into a complex living community. In the Waimea philosophy, this is the ultimate form of grounding, reminding yourself that you are not a visitor in nature. You are a participant in its ancient, ongoing history. The principle, the literacy of the land. The core principle is biophilic literacy. Just as you learn to read a book, you can learn to read a trail. When you walk with the intent to identify, your brain engages in a high-level pattern recognition task. You move from seeing a wall of green to seeing elderberry, wild garlic, yarrow, or dandelion. This cognitive shift triggers a sense of belonging and stewardship. When you know the name of a tree, you are more likely to protect it. This practice slows your pace down to the biological speed of the forest, synchronizing your internal clock with the slow growth of the earth. What do you need? The gears. To engage with the land safely and respectfully, a few tools are essential. The guide, a local foraging field guide, or a reputable plant identification app like Seek or Picture This. Knowledge is your most important safety tool. The forager's kit, a small canvas bag or a woven basket for collecting only if legal and sustainable in your area, and a small, sharp pocket knife for clean harvests. Magnification, a jeweler's loupe or a simple magnifying glass. Looking at a flower at 10x magnification reveals a hidden world of geometric perfection. The leave no trace code, a commitment to never take more than you need and to never harvest protected species. The practice, how to start. The species of the day, don't try to learn everything at once. Choose one tree or one wildflower before you start. Spend your walk looking specifically for that friend. The sensory audit. Before picking anything, use your other senses. Crush a leaf that you know is safe to smell its oils. Feel the texture of the bark. Is it shaggy like a cedar or smooth like a beech? The honorary take. Foraging doesn't always mean taking something home. Digital foraging, taking a high-quality photo of a plant to identify later, is a way to harvest knowledge without disturbing the ecosystem. The seasonal watch. Walk the same path once a week. Observe the bud burst in spring, the fruiting in summer, and the decay in autumn. This connects you to the swell of time, the long-term rhythm of life. Conclusion. The ancestral path completes our journey. We started with the eyes, photography, moved to the ears, soundwalking, the voice, dictation, and the heart, gratitude. Now we return to the hands, touching the earth and understanding our place within it. When you finish this walk, you don't just feel better, you feel woven back in. You realize that every step you take is on ground that has supported life for eons. You aren't just a person walking in the woods, you are a part of the woods taking a walk.